Good damn afternoon, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. Spotify, Recoil TV, Rumble. Get in that description box, get to the link tree, find out what other platforms I am on, and I will be waiting there for you patiently. And something I was thinking about, there's a lot of talk of the children being groomed, being set up for a future time so that they're more easily taken advantage of. So their guard is down. So what they want to happen to them is normalized, and it's easy because they want easy pickings, just like any other predator. You look at the great white shark. How big are those things? 20 feet, 5,000 pounds. Literally rows of teeth, and as they break off, they have new ones rotate in their place, can smell a drop of blood in 1,000,000 gallons of water. Dun, 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 dun. Jaws? That thing is what you call an apex predator. All right? It is pretty much top dog wherever it is, unless there are some great whites around. Or I'm sorry, not great whites, killer whales. There's some orcas in the area. That great white, pew, he's going to be gone. But more than likely, it is top dog wherever it is. That thing is built to kill. Everything in its life, everything in its mind, all of its sensors are built to do one thing: kill. All right? Even those predators that have evolved over millions and millions of years, and they've become adapted to their environment, and they're even dark on top and light on the bottom. So if you're a potential prey and you look down, you'll see darkness. You'll just see water. You won't notice that there's a 5,000-pound shark about to fuck your whole day up. You wouldn't notice that. But even that gigantic super predator doesn't want to get hurt. It wants easy food. It wants to bite and release. It wants to hit you real quick. You bleed out in the water. It shows up after you're dead and has an easy meal so it doesn't get hurt. Same with these predators. These predators may not have super sensor organisms on them. They may not have rows of sharp teeth, but they are predators none the same, and they are adapted to their environment, and they will get their prey if we let them. But that's why they're grooming these kids, so down the road, they're an easy meal. But you know what? It's not just the kids that are being groomed. We are being groomed. We as adults, we as the taxpayers, we as the citizens are also being groomed. We're being groomed to accept this shit like our borders being overrun. That's just the way it is. They're hoping that future generations will just accept that. They can flip their voting block and stay in power forever. We're being groomed for that. When they're going after our kids, they're grooming us too to be okay with what they're going to do or try to do to our kids. They need us to be okay with it too, because the first thing you do, something that's valuable is probably being guarded, no matter what it is. Fort Knox. We've all seen the jewelry heist movies, the laser beam systems and shit. You know, Mission Impossible, you got to come in from the ceiling. Something that is valuable is being guarded. And nothing is maybe more fiercely guarded than children, than the young. If you want to get to a grizzly cub and there's a mama and papa bear in between you and all you have is a knife, you're probably going to be a meal and you're not going to make it to those cubs. So they got to get rid of us first. And if they can't get us out of the picture completely, then they have to make us part of the plan. They're going to have to dumb us down. They're going to have to neuter us. So we can't stop them from getting to their ultimate prize. So we're being groomed too in a lot of different ways. And I was watching this video and it had the people, some of the people who are in the executive positions at Disney, even the CEO, he's a bitch. I don't know if they got his testicles in a jar and it's a small, small world or something like that, but he doesn't have possession of them. He's a bitch. He's a eunuch. He's what you call a Ken doll crotch. Remember Ken doll? Nothing. Smooth. No definition. That's what he is. No testes. No nothing. Because he's bowing to these clowns. But one of the people that they were talking to was some weird ass Zoom call they were having. And one of the ladies, I assume it was a lady, I want to misgender her. But she said she was an asexual romantic something. Well, how can you be asexual and be romantic? Asexual means you have no sexual feelings or emotion. You're just a thing. You don't think about sex. You don't engage in sex. You don't jerk off a flick your bean. You don't do none of that. You're asexual. Right down the middle. You're just a beige blob. But she's in charge of dictating children's programming. Then this other lady talks about how I have 2 kids and one of them is LGBTQIA+, and the other one is transgender. And the first thing I said was, what are the fucking odds that you're going to have 2 kids, one of them is gay and the other one is transgender? I smell some bullshit there. I smell your need to virtue signal, even though it may cost your kids their mental stability. Is the juice worth the squeeze? And their answer is yes every time, no matter what. But I don't want these people making children's programming for my children. These people are fucking weirdos. And asexual romantic, you're weird, and you shouldn't be around kids. I have 2 kids, and one's LGBT alphabet soup group, and the other one's Ku Klux Trans. Shut your fucking mouth and give your ovaries to the authorities. Because you're weird, and you're fucked up, and you shouldn't be working for Disney. But this is what Disney is looking for. This is what Disney wants. The CEO even said we need to be more inclusive and more accepting. What about the 99.999% of your clientele that doesn't partake in this nonsense? What about them? You're gonna turn them off so much to your product that they're not gonna come to your parks anymore. They're not gonna watch your shows. They're not gonna buy your merch. Contrary to what they want us to believe, there are a lot of parents out there who are good parents and are gonna be woken up by this shit. When the smoke clears, as a parent, you are responsible to your children. Period. And you can't hand them over. You can't take them to the slaughterhouse and drop them off. You can't do that. That goes against everything a parent is supposed to do. But they're trying to groom us as well. They keep beating us over the head with these terms and these phrases. Language. It is important to attack the language. If it sounds bad, it must not be bad because it's just about love. Who are you to stand in front of love? Everybody deserves love. Yes, that's why I had kids, to love them. I and my wife are where they will get their love from. Not from your bony, sharp, demonic fingers. Get them away, or you won't have any fingers. They're after us too. You have to take care of the guard. You have to get the guard dog out of the way before you can get to that precious jewel. I've mentioned this before. I used to watch, there was a movie back in the day, Whoopi Goldberg, before we knew she was crazy as fuck. And she had this movie called Jumpin' Jack Flash, and she was a jewel thief. And she had to break into this place, but they had 2 Doberman pinciers, running around in the yard, so she couldn't hop the fence and go after the jewels. They would tear her ass apart. So what did she do? She put a little sleeping pill and some meat, tossed it over the gate. The dogs ate it. They fell asleep. She went right in and took her time stealing what she wanted. That's what they want to do to us. We are the guard dogs. We are the roving patrols. And in order to get to the precious, they have to get rid of us. And if that means dumbing us down, so we open the gate for them and show them where the precious items are, that's what they're going to do. But we can't fall for that shit. We have an obligation. If the parents are going to protect the kids, who is? Please tell me, who is? We're going to trust them? Obviously we can't. This is supposed to be a place where you are supposed to allow your kids to be kids. And for how much it costs to get up in that bitch, you better let them be kids. But we can't do that anymore. We can't trust them. They've openly said they want to indoctrinate them and poison their minds with all this weird shit. And in order to enact weird shit, you need weird people, and they got them. That lady said with a straight face, She is an asexual, romantic, some other bullshit. Asexual. Are you a fucking sociopath? What do you mean you have no sexual thoughts or emotions? That's part of being a person. That's one of the best parts of being a human. But you don't partake in that. You're not wired that way. Well, your wires are crossed and fucked up, and you need to get away from kids, period. But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe. Hit that notification bell because every time it rings, a piece of shit lefty cries. Utilize the Linktree link. Get your ass over to jerichogreen.net. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.